Welcome everyone to Waxsill Live. My name is Betsy Goodman. I'm a Waxsill and lettering artist, and every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. I go live here on Facebook, here on YouTube to share some fun Waxsill techniques, tips, and tricks. So today what we are learning is we are going to be doing gem glitter sills, things that shine. So I'm super excited to kind of dive into this. I wanted to use some of the stamps from my summer collection, so they're all kind of ocean nautical themed. So we're going to be doing that. And yeah, I'm super excited for this. And to be fully transparent, I have a general plan, but I definitely want to have some of your input to help kind of guide the direction we go. But I'm going to show you the supplies I have, what I'm using, and then we'll kind of jump in. Let me know how you're doing today. Let me know where you're watching from. I can see Himmy's here. Welcome, Kimmy and Mary, April, Kristen from Florida. Mary's here. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. Okay, so let me show you supplies that I have. I have kind of ocean themed sealing wax. So the colors I have today are these ones. So I've got the metallic navy. That's not the right color. I was like, that looks a little, that was pink. I have nude that I don't have a stick of, but metallic navy, metallic blue, cream, champagne, and this nude color. This is the last stick I have of that at the moment. So kind of like ocean beachy type colors, which I think will be really fun. And then I've got some of the stamps from the summer collection. So I won't be using all of these today, but I just wanted to grab them and kind of see which ones I think could be really fun with glitter. Especially some of the more like this fun mermaid tail, something like that. So I'm going to slide these stamps across. All these are from my online shop, as well as the wax. Other supplies I have, these were some sills I was making earlier. So I'm going to set those aside. I kind of showed it before, but I've got all my wax in low temp glue gun. So they're all switched to low. They're all plugged in. And I've got a little switch this time to switch it on and off. So I'm not unplugging and replugging every single time. I see a bunch more people joined. Amy's here. Welcome, Amy. Welcome, Teresa. Hi, and Antoinetta. I feel like I'm going to say it wrong. I'm so sorry if I said it wrong. Linda and Tina. Awesome. Welcome. And Gloria from Scotland. I love it. Okay. So I also have a marble pad here for pouring. I've got parchment paper as well, if we need that. I've also got over here some stamps on an ice pack getting nice and cold. And then I've got, for our gem seal, I've got this clear Gorilla Glue that I want to use. I've also used the resin nail polish, but I haven't used this recently in any lives, and I do really like it. So I do want to just show how to use this. It won't be dry during this live because it takes quite a bit of time to dry, but like tomorrow it'll be perfect and the gems will not be going anywhere. So I really do like it. So that's why I wanted to have that today to show you. And then I brought my big bag of gems and glitters. Very fancy, I know. A few different things. So I've got glass glitter, which is really fun. If you get the Wax Seal Club, you got some similar, but a little bit larger in the April box. And then I've got some pretty little gems. They're all, I'm just keeping all this stuff in Ziploc bags, but you can see these are little kind of champagne colored gems. I think we'll use those today because they kind of go with our oceany theme. I've got these like, these ones are just plastic and still kind of champagne-y colored. And I also have some gold that's that same type. And then got some clear gems. So I'm not going to use all of these today, but I'm just showing you. So all of these types of gems, I just search like nail gems, nail diamond things, and then it will come up when you're searching for it. And then most of these I got from Amazon. So I think these ones will be good for today, and maybe this one because these are colored. So we'll see. And then I also wanted to show you some glitter. So this is a set of fine glitter that I got also on Amazon, Leo Bro. And I honestly, I've used mostly Valentine colors with this, but there was some really pretty blues. That's why I grabbed it. So this kind of aqua, let me see what other blues we have in here. This one's a nice darker blue. I like that. Even darker. I think that might be all the blues. Yes. Okay, so those are kind of, these are fine glitters that we can use, which they are very messy, so I don't hold it against you if you're like, I'm not using those. And then I also just have this little box of little glitters too, of just little things, but I have these little jars of glitter. So these were little samples that I had gotten at something, but there's a few that are kind of oceany themed colors that I think could be cute. I think that's probably good on those. So yeah, these are kind of, we're just looking for things we can add, some glitters, some things like that. And I do also have the last supply I'll show you. I have my gold powder today, and I have kind of a champagne colored powder. This brand is called Litter Bee. I'll show you the jar when we get it out. And this was the chrome powder. If you were in one of my recent lives, I think with the flower workshop, we did this one. I don't love the tone of it, but I still grabbed it because I do like the way it goes on. So maybe it will work with what we're doing today. So the first thing that I think would be fun to do is maybe we'll do glitter, the fine glitter at the end because it's the most messy. But I was thinking we could do some of these gem sills. So I've got my glue guns warmed up. And so I do need to make a few sills first, and then we can start adding the gems on. And all these little spoons come with the glitter. I'm just going to set them back in the box because I actually don't want the whole thing. Let's see. More people are here. Jackie made it. Deb, Marlene from North Carolina, Darlene, that was my grandmother's name. I love it, that name. Jen, Monica, Cheryl, Elizabeth. I love it. Okay. Amy said, I've used embossing powders and they've turned out nicely. Yeah, I need to try more of them. I think that is a great idea. And then Mary said, the best way to clean up glitter is with Swiffer dry pads. Great tip. Thank you for that. And Amy is here. If I said your name right, welcome. And Cheryl's here. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so I've got some wax heating up. The first one I was thinking would be fun to do would be the shell. So I kind of want to do it in cream. This is a great stamp for cutting out the wax because it's an easy shape that you could cut it out in cream and then place it in a second color. But I'm thinking we could probably, I'm just popping the bubbles with this lighter. And then my wax is a little on the warm side. Yeah. This is okay. So let's pop the bubbles on the edge and let me talk about this. So with gem sills, it's okay if we have quite a bit of extra, I'm not worried that it's off-centered because we can add gems. If we're only adding gems to one side, it can go to this side. And we actually want more of a rim so there's space to add it, right? So let's do a couple more. I kind of want to do the fish. So let's try this one. And we'll see if I can get a better press. I'm changing my mind. I kind of want to do a different one. No, I'll just do the fish. I kind of was like, maybe I'll do the fish in the nude color, but I think this will be nice. Okay, so we've got two with this. I think let's do some blues. Let's just do a blue just so we can see how it comes out with the gems. So I've got the lighter blue, and I'm going to choose my stamp first. So I'm thinking I just grabbed all the ones from the collection. I think this little whale one would be fun. And this wax is too hot. I need to turn it off. But you can see how much bubbles. When you have a ton of bubbles like that, it's way too warm. And we can pop ahead of time something with metallic is you can still see the bubbles even after they pop. Like the coloring kind of changes around where the bubble was. So just, it's not a big deal, but just be aware of that it happens. And let's see if we can do the dark blue. Ooh, maybe we'll do the oceany kind of theme. All of these are making me think that I want to do multiple colors in one sill, but we'll do that for another day. For today, we're just going to focus on adding gems and things to them, gems and glitters. Man, I'm having a hard time. So when you guys are like, how do you always get them so centered? Today I'm not. It just depends. Sometimes it's better than others. And then I also have a few of these little gem sills that are really cute from this collection, but I think they're going to be better with hot glue and glitter. So I think we'll start with these. And I'm actually going to unplug. I'm just going to keep my hot glue gun in. I just need to figure out which one that is. And then I'm going to actually unplug the rest of them for a bit, because I still want my hot glue hot, but not the rest of these. But I do really love all these colors together. They're really fun. Okay, so our hot glue is still, let me just do a double check. Yes. Okay, hot glue is plugged in. Jennifer said, for a dark blue, would you recommend the navy or metallic navy from your site? So this one is nice because it is dark. It's metallic, but the navy is like a deep, deep navy. Like it could possibly be mistaken for black in some instances. So if you're wanting it to be very clear that it's blue, then I'd say this one. But if you're like, I want a really deep, dark navy, then I'd go with the navy one. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's check these. We started, I'm going to put my lighter down. We started with this one, the shell, which is so cute. So there's that one. I love that. And I think and there's our goldfish. So we can start with those while our blues are finishing cooling. I'm just using an art spatula to get it off the marble. And it comes off pretty good once it's pretty cool. So I'm going to set that marble pad aside. And okay, so for doing gem sills, I did grab, if you had a little bowl or something, I just grabbed a few little squares of parchment paper to try to contain the glitter or the gems. But this one, there's a bunch in this little bag, so I'm just going to dump some out on my little parchment paper. And I know there's some bigger ones in the bag, but I think this size might be okay. And I'm thinking we'll do this on the shell. So this is going to get them everywhere, but there's a little bit bigger size. So it comes with a variety of sizes. And you can get these in all different colors, different shapes and things. And so I'm going to put this back in the bag so I don't lose all those. Okay, so next step is we're going to take this, and there was a couple tools I forgot to mention that we'll be using. So one, this is like I don't actually know the name of it, but if you've ever done stuff with little gems or I'm trying to think of what the word is. Let me know what the word is. Oh, Deb asked to enlarge the panel. Yes, thank you. I always forget to do that. Thank you for reminding me, Deb. I can't remember, but anyway, they help you pick up the little gems. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our precision glue, and you can see it has a really tiny tip. And I love this because it's not going to dry right away, but it gets tacky enough that it can hold our gems in place. I'm going to bring you guys a little closer, and like, can I zoom? I can't zoom in anymore. That's as close as we can get. So I just want to start. I'm going to do this whole thick side. It kind of worked out that it was a little thick, but you can see I've got a bubble here on the tip, and I don't want to start with a bubble. So I'm just going to clean that off really quick. And then I'm just going to put, well, there's still the bubbles. Oh, well. I'm just going to start about like this. And I'm going to put my lid right back on. But if you can see, you guys see where that glue is? I'm just going to start with that amount, and I can add more down here. The first times I did this, I didn't have this handy little tool, and these make it so much better. So you just want to make sure your gems are facing up, and then you can just place them on. And I like to do kind of bigger and work to smaller. And I'm like, I think actually I'm just going to put glue on my whole. I think we're going to do this whole, or maybe we could do a little bit over here. I think we'll just do this whole side. It'll just be one-sided gems. And then you just need to get all your little gems turned over. That's also one of the harder parts, is getting them the right direction so you can pick them up. But just kind of alternating size, and we're just going to put them on. And at the last part, we'll be adding more like some of the baby teeny tiny ones. So this technique is time consuming. So it's definitely one you're going to have to be like, okay, spending a lot of time. But I think they do turn out really pretty and special when they're done. The hardest part at this moment is getting these little gems to flip over. And I kind of like this one, you noticed I kind of tilted it in because I don't want it to just be like this straight line of gems. I think that will look a little funny. So you can kind of alternate a little bit so it's not just a straight line. And I think I'll do one more of this size, and we're going to go down in size. Okay, now we need to start looking for the littler ones, and we'll just add these in. And sometimes like this one, it's not wanting to come off. So it's like I need a little pokey tool. Get that one to come off. But we're basically, at this point, you're just filling it in all the way. And usually they do come off pretty well, which is nice. But when they don't, you can use another tool to kind of push it off. So I've got this side. This side looks good because it's ending on kind of like a point. But I do need I need to fill in this area a little bit. So we'll do that. Whoops. And then I need some size variety here. So something that I'll do at this point, you can see it's looking nice. It's looking pretty full, but we've also got this whole side, and I kind of like when things kind of hang over. The other thing you'll notice that's happening is these sills kind of came in down here, which I'm okay with. I'm not going to move them, but that can kind of happen. They'll kind of slide in a little bit. And I'm realizing I left my closet door open. I always try to remember to close that, but didn't today, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit more glue. A jewelry picker, thank you. Yes, or a gem picker. So yes, that is what you need. Make it super easy. Sherry asked, I got some of the Testors paint and brushes you recommend and used them on some Christmas sales yesterday. They are very nice to work with. I was pleased with the results. Awesome. I love that. How are you with the smell? Did it really bother you, or it was not a big deal? That's my only thing I don't love about them, is they're a little smelly, but I'm a little bit sensitive to smells. I do want to, you know how people will go like painting outside, like go outside to do a watercolor or oil painting or something. I want to go outside to do wax seal painting for the smell, but also because I'm like, that'd be so fun. Just sit outside on a nice evening and paint wax seals. Okay, so I've gotten a little bit more. I'm kind of trying to get the whole edge. So I got a little more glue added. And so now I can go in and add some more on. This one I want to move up. And the thing that's nice about this glue, I got a little fuzzy on me, is that it's like tacky, so it's going to hold them in place, but they're not set in place either. So you can still reposition as needed, which I really like about this. But we'll just kind of keep going down. And then when you're done, it's really just letting it dry. You can see I need some right here. I'm going to try to get a little bit of a bigger one that will fit in there better. Oh, there's one stuck on there. But you might already have, if you already do a lot of crafting, you might already have some of these little gems that would work just great. Otherwise, all of these I just got on Amazon. I just by Googling like nail glitters and gems, and that seems, so you can see this one kind of slid back. I don't want that. That's too far. So I'm just going to try to reposition it. And then I do like to try to kind of make it end a little, I need something here. It's just like two floating ones. And then I would like, that end's kind of big. I think it'd be nice to have like just a tiny one. But I think this is turning out really fun. The other thing, I haven't done it with this sill before, but the shell engraving does go all the way to the edge. So it does look a little tight, but I think it's okay. So I'm just going to do like just a little drop of glue. And then we'll just put a few more. I just want some little one here probably, and I feel like that's probably good. And then one more up here to kind of, maybe we need a couple more up here to kind of gradually. And then from here, we're looking pretty good. We can just reposition as needed if we need to like slide anything around. This one slid down. That one keeps sliding down. It's like, and then let's see if we can fit a teeny tiny one in here. Yep. Okay. So that is it. And except, oh, I see another little spot. We've got some sliding there. So let's add one more. So as I'm like rotating it around, they're kind of sliding a little bit, which is fine. So just if that happens to you, then just adjust. And I think I'm okay with like how much of the edge is showing now. I think it's mostly covered. So you can see that's kind of where we landed. So I do, looking at it now, I don't love how close the gems get to the edge. Like it's almost like it's covering this engraving. So it'd be better if this was a little smaller. But overall, I think it's really cute. And we can also slide, they're kind of settling down, which is fine. But regardless, I think it's a cute result. I think it's really fun. So that's this one. I'm going to set it on a different little parchment paper. So this is like, when the times I've used this glue, I will just leave it overnight and then I go check on it. I think it probably is a little faster than that. But I don't think it'll be dry by the time this live is over. So I'm going to take, so what's nice about having it all in a little bowl or a parchment paper is we can just lift it up and dump it back into our little bag if I don't spill it before then. And then we're set. So I thought it also, so there's these ones too, because the same idea applies regardless of what gems you're using, right? So if you're using these ones, I think coloring would be fun on these. They kind of look like sand coloring, but we could try some. Let's check these. That one turned out really pretty. This could be fun. We could put little gems on the stars, like they're sparkling. And this one is cute too. I like the idea of doing dark blue gems on this one because it will show up and it'll kind of be blue themed. And again, we could even cover the moon with little gems if we wanted. I'm just going to pull this one off too. What do you guys think? Should we do the dark blue or light blue? I I have, so let me show you these. So these ones are a little bit more time consuming because they're all just a bunch of colors mixed. Catherine asked, how long to dry for this? I would say at least several hours. But like I said, I left it overnight and then I checked it in the morning. So I didn't check it before that. So I'm not exactly sure, but it does take a while. So it's something that you don't want to need right away. If you need it right away, the UV nail polish situation would work a little better. The little trays you get the diamond painting are good. Oh, because they're ridged and you can shake beads gemmed right into them and round. It's easier to pick up. That's a great tip. Thank you, Gloria. Could you try dipping the wax in Elmer's glue and then dip the seal into glitter? Possibly, but I don't know how well Elmer's glue actually sticks to sealing wax. I've had a hard time finding glues, like regular craft glues or tacky glue doesn't stick to sealing wax. It'll just come off. So that's why I like this glue specifically, but we are going to make some hot glue glitter seals and it will work out really well on how to add the glitter to it. Okay, we got a couple people said dark blue, so let's go with that. So we'll just get a little bit of this out. I do need to get some of those little containers Gloria was talking about. But this one's a little bit more tricky because you have to get more of it out and you have to kind of sort them. So maybe we'll just do, let's just see what we find in here. So if we have these sills for the dark blue, there's some, I think we'll just do some, and we don't have to do a lot. So let's do an example where let's just add like a few on like maybe 2 sides and then see how that looks. I don't think you have to be like, I would say this one we put a lot. You could even go all the way around if you really wanted to. But I think with this one, maybe let's just add a few and see how that looks. So there's light blue and dark blue ones are kind of the 2 colors we have to work with here. That's not blue. That one was blue. Let's get a few more and then we can start adding them on. And we'll just do a few on this one because you kind of get the idea, but they are really fun to make and they're really pretty. I want to do more of these. This has little flower ones, but I don't really like the shape of those, so I'm not going to grab any of those. And that one is blue too. It's just upside down. Okay, that's kind of good. Let's see. So we could just do, I was just looking at the water and like, could we put them on part of the water? Or it might not look like water anymore. Do you think it would look like water? Okay, let's just try it. Because you already know how to add them to the edge, so let's just see. So I've done this before where you put the gems on part of the seal itself. And it worked really well with a heart stamp because then it was just the heart was raised up in the wax. So the whole heart I just filled with gems and you could still tell it was a heart. So it turned out really cute. So I don't know if the same effect will work with this in the water, but I feel like it could be kind of fun to try. And maybe we should just go with only this kind of teardroppy shape, actually. I didn't get that on where I want it. I think more horizontal placement is better. You guys can't even see this, huh? It's like dark on dark. I'm like, I can't get it any closer. Let me add a few more, then I'll lift it up and show you. It's a little hard to see. But I think this is actually going to be kind of fun. And I need a large oval shaped one, this one. Okay, so this is, can you guys see that? It's very tone on tone. So it's like, how many gems are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little gems, but it's just a part of the water. So it's like you can see it, but it's not super, super vibrant. But let's do it on the top and just see, and maybe it'll work. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this. I do love anything that's kind of tone on tone. I love stuff like that, where it's slightly different so you can see it, but it's not super, super obvious. But these kind of little teardrop shapes seem to be working the best. And kind of, I feel like, I guess they're like water droplets, right? It all fits together. See if we can find a few more in here. Maybe. Here's one. And this glue also dries clear. So it's not, you won't be able to, I mean, you'll be able to see that it's what you can see now, I guess. Just a couple more. I always feel bad when I choose slow projects like this because then you're just watching me do this, but we're going. We'll be done in a minute. Get a little bit of a longer one. And we need like 2 more. I might have to pour some more little gems out. Let me pour a few more and see if I can. Where did they go? Silver stars in the sky might be fun. You guys, let me know what you think. Are you a silver person or a gold person? And you're like, I like both. I'm definitely like gold. I don't love silver, but the silver would match this probably better than gold would, but I'm still probably going to use gold because I like it better. But you're right. Kristen was the one that said that. Valerie said, I missed how we got those on there. We are using glue. We're using Gorilla Glue. So this precision glue. So if you've been to other lives, we've used nail polish before, but I really like this glue. It's very permanent once it sets. And so I wanted to try this and let you guys see how this goes too. Can someone please share the name of the glue Betsy is using? Yes, this one. Gorilla Clear Gorilla Glue. And I think it says micro precision because it's a tiny tip in like the product description. And the tool you're using to pick up the gems, this one everyone else was telling me, because I also didn't know, is a jewel picker or a gem picker. Here's the gem thing. Perfect. Thank you, Leanne. Let's see. We've got gold, silver or gold, silver, both. Yeah, it seems like, yeah, I don't know. I think silver is beautiful, but I just really love gold more. So, okay, I think I can fit one more. Maybe. Yeah. So it's kind of fun. And then we're making it kind of 3-dimensional. This a little bit reminds me of like stained glass or something. Like not stained glass, like a mosaic, tile mosaic type of thing. But so you can kind of see those. You can see the gems floating in the water. So now we need to, so that's kind of some ideas for gems. We just use the glue. We place them on wherever we want. I've done some where you just put a little bit on one side, a few here, like just sprinkle some on, or you could put them on the design. All of those things are great. I'm going to put these ones back in the bag. So yeah, feel free to explore. I think you guys get the idea of the process and how to do it. So then you guys can be creative of how you actually apply that. I'm just going to dump those back in. There's a few more. So I do like this set because it does have all the colors. So it was nice because I want to do like an orange, like citrus orange still that has citrus or has orange gems on it. Like there's all the colors in there, but it is a little annoying to have to dig through And they're all different shapes, so that also makes it, you kind of have to dig through. I'm also wondering if maybe we could add gems to the stars and we color the moon in. We could also try, I'm just debating if we should try our tester's paint out. What do you think? We could do the powder or we could do the tester's paint. I did bring that up here with me if I have a tiny brush, which I do. Because I'm thinking the powder sometimes gets where you don't want it to be. And at this point, it's like we've already spent so much time getting these little gems on here that we want it to turn out nice, you know? Okay. So we'll try this. And especially, I can't remember, who was it that was like, I've tried this? Let's see. Lee said, how do you color in the moon? Let me show you my ideas. So a few different options you could do to color in sealing wax with this. So we can use a powder, which works great, but it does sometimes get places you don't want it to be. You can use a Krylon gold leafing pen that actually works better on hot glue than sealing wax, but it does work. It just takes a couple coats. Or there's also chrome, like nail polish powder. I don't like the color of this one though for the gold, but it did go on really well. Also a little hard to control because it's powder, but then there's also tester's paint. So this is an enamel-based paint. It is a little smelly, I will say. I don't know if I can shake it to get it to mix, or yeah, I can. I'm trying to mix it up. It gets a little separated. And I'm just gonna use a really tiny brush. This is an oil-based paint, so you can't use water with this. You can't clean it off with water. But I'm okay using this because we're already spent so much time getting our gems on. I'm just like, how cute could this be if we really finish it off? Should we do gems on the stars is the question. I kind of think we should add that first and then paint. If we do that, it would be the same as these ones, which then they're not quite gold. This is gold, so I don't know. What do you guys think? Or maybe we just paint them. So I'm going to open this up. Something that I've learned with this paint is that you do pour it out to use it, make sure to clean the side, because if you put this back on, it will get stuck and then you won't be able to get it open again. So I had some paintbrushes that were even a little bit smaller than this, but this one has a nice tip. I think it will work well. Kristen said, do you have star gems? Ooh, hold on. I do, but I think they were all blue. Let me see if there's like any yellow gold ones in here. It looks like the yellow color is more like, it's pretty yellow, not like gold. That could be fun too. Okay, we're gonna have to do this quick because already I opened it and I'm like, I hate that smell. And it's one that you want to have good ventilation for. The other thing with this is I don't have a toothpick handy. I'm trying to think if there's something else I can use. It'd be better, oh, I could use one of these as a little mixer. So these little spoons that were with my glitter, just mix it up a little bit so that it's fully mixed. And then I'm going to, oh, see, did you see there was a huge chunk in the bottom? Look at that. There's the paint. So we do need to mix it up a little better. So Catherine Hastings is the one that I learned that I got the tip about using tester's paint, because I had tried using just acrylic paint and it does work, but you have to do like 10 coats, which is so annoying. And so she has used this several times, uses it all the time, and she does really beautiful work with it. I'm going to grab another paper towel for when I'm done with my brush. Okay. So let's get a little bit of the gold. I haven't used this brush in a little while, so I'm like, I need to loosen up my brush. It was pretty stiff. Okay, so we're gonna go over the moon first. This was also a brush that Catherine Hastings recommended. It's a little bit large, but it does have a pretty fine tip, so you can get some nice detailing done, which is great. But then once you start painting on sills, I mean, she does a lot of really cool artistic looking sills where the painting looks like an actual, like, artistic painting. Um, and something I love to paint, I'm not very good at it yet, is flowers, and so I'm very interested in using these paints on some of the flower sills, but I have not done that yet. So I'm just gonna do some of these stars. Some of them are a little bit, like, blobby. Let me show you. So they're not, you can tell they're supposed to be a star, but it just looks like a bump. So I'm trying to paint, like, a line down and across to make it look a little bit more like a star. Let's see. And maybe the little ones, I'll just do a tiny dot. But this goes on really well. Once it's dry, it's permanent. So I do love that. So I'm doing some with the cross. This one I'm gonna turn upside down. And I got it a little bit long on that side, but that's okay. So here's here is how that is looking. Very cool. So to clean our brush, before I close this, okay, well, two things. To clean my brush, I'm first gonna try to just get off what I can with a paper towel because I need to use the paint thinner to get the rest off. So I'm gonna get off as much as I can there. And then I also want to clean my jar and just make sure that this is all cleaned up because I have a whole set that the lids are stuck and I do not know how to get them off. So anyway, just make sure you clean the lid really good and then put it back on. Oh, except, well, I was like, maybe we should have done that gold. I'll show you the powder with that one. It's kind of a bigger space. So there's that. The other thing I was like, maybe we could add white on the water. What do you think? Because the blue in here, this is kind of the blue color, but I just don't know if it will show up if it's lighter. It might. If it's like just barely a lighter blue, that might look really pretty. Or we could try to do the lines with white. What do you think? The white might make it stand out too much and not look like nighttime, right? Let's see how the blue is. I'm gonna check the comments. The testers paints I got are acrylic and are water-based, so easy cleanup. Are they enamel-based, April? And if so, please share the link in the chat. Also, do they smell? Because that's the other thing. How long does it take to dry? I think probably like 30 minutes or less. I'm not exactly sure. The last time I painted with them was like around December. So I always just let my things set for a while before I even try to touch them. Yeah, Sylvia's asking too. April, share it. The water-based ones. Okay, so I'll try to shake it a little bit and we'll do the same thing. And I'm just gonna use the other side of my little mixer and we'll mix it up. But yeah, it's a little, if you're the type of person who gets headache from like perfumes, like I do, or things like that, like this is a pretty smelly paint. Like I'm gonna have to I should actually probably open a window right now. I'm gonna do that really quick. Yeah, I should have opened that before I started painting so that there's some good ventilation in here. So I'm just gonna mix this up. And let's do a little test with this on a different sill that's already done. I don't feel like I don't know if there's enough color difference here that it will show up very well on this sill for the lines of the water. Do you think we should what do you guys think? I don't know what to do. Either we leave it, maybe we just leave it and we're done. We could try to add gold to it or white. I just don't know if the blue is really going to show up at all. Any thoughts? Agreed, leave it. Okay. I think, yeah, we'll just leave it where it's at. But I still think it's really cute. So you can see the press on the moon is not ideal, but that's okay. But you can see the gems, you can see the stars. It looks like night sea. So that one's good. So I'm going to move this one. And I got some gold on me. The last thing to clean this off, because it is oil-based, is that I do need a little bit of the paint thinner. So I'm going to grab, comes in this like little set. Am I missing the gold? So this is the paint thinner. So again, a paper towel, and we can dip in, and then we can kind of rub off the gold. And you just want to do that till you get your paintbrush clean. And then it's ready to go for the next. But I do try to just get most of it off with a paper towel to start with, and then this is just trying to clean it all the way. And that's good enough for me. So, and then we'll close that up. And we'll put it back. And that's it. So we did two that I think turned out really fun. This one, let's add a little bit of powder to it, and then we'll make some hot glue ones. You could try creating a blend of white with a little blue mixed to desired color. I love that idea. I might go back and do that. But I think I just cleaned my brush, so I think we'll be done with the paint, but you kind of get an idea of how that works. And I'm just going to put it back. It's a little protector. And now we're done. Here we go. This is the tester's paint that April's been using. So we could try that. Okay, so this again is very messy. I probably wouldn't use so many paper towels if I wasn't doing this on video, but it's like I need to keep the space cleaned so that I can make the next thing. So this one that I'm going to use is Litter Bees Bronze, and it matches really well with these gems. And so I just want to open it on a paper towel because it is very dirty, and you can see I've already got it everywhere. I'm going to try to get that off my fingers a little bit. Then we'll take our cute little shell sill, and we can add, so I'm just going to grab, this is just a little makeup brush applicator, and I usually just get the powder from the lid, and then I'll try to kind of scrape or dust some off, and then I'll go in and try to add it. So I love this color. I love how easily it goes on. The only thing I don't love is how sometimes it gets places where you don't really want it to be. It's just a little bit harder to control. But otherwise, very happy with this. It's not a permanent solution. It's not a permanent gold. If I touch it, a little bit can come off, not fully. So I like to say it's like semi-permanent. But I just need to turn my sill a little bit. So we've got all of that part, and then I just need to try to get this part. What's up, Tanner?
I have some more time. I'm playing my video game.
Yeah, you can have a little more time. Thanks, buddy. Can you close the door, please? That was Tanner. He's 5. And they're not supposed to come in here. But of course they do. But they have a checklist. We've been doing this checklist thing for summer so that they don't just watch TV all day. So they have to do so many things in the morning on their checklist before then they get a certain amount of video game time and a certain amount of TV time that's quite short. But anyway, so he was wanting more time, but obviously I don't want him coming in here with us this whole time. So how can I share the link from Amazon? Can you add a link in the comments? I don't know. The link doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe after the video is posted, it will work. Is there some kind of spray that would prevent the gold dust from coming off? I haven't found one, so I'd love if you guys have a thought on that. The other thing that as this is drying, it's kind of sticking to the parchment paper a little bit. So I don't know. It's not like you can see some comes up, but it doesn't totally come off. But that's that one. I think that's really fun. A little seashell. Okay, I'm going to set this over here to dry so I don't touch it. And this one, I actually really like this one. I want to do more like this. The little gems on the sill part remind me of a mosaic a lot. Okay. All right, let's move on to some glitter sills. I'm going to keep this paper towel. Okay, so these also great for, oh, let me take this off. So we want this little parchment paper, and I've got my hot glue not on. I thought it was on this whole time. Okay, that's going to heat up. But I've got my stamps on an ice pack. So there's a few ways that we can do this, and I am going to turn my hot glue up to high so it heats up a little bit faster. So we can do with glitter, you can place glitter on the bottom and then pour hot glue onto the top of it. So that will work. We can also do the hot glue and then sprinkle the glitter on and then press, especially if we do it with fine glitter. Or we can pour, press, and pour the fine glitter around the edge. The glass glitter is kind of the same as if you saw how to do a flower wreath still. It's the same technique. So maybe we'll get this one ready and we can get these other ones ready too. So let's see which sill we want to do if we're doing a little collection of them. Let's see. Maybe we'll do this little lighthouse one. Actually, we can't because it's not on an ice pack. Hello. I have this one, but I wanted to do this one with fine glitter. So I guess let's put this one on the ice pack for those ones. I wish I would have had my hot glue plugged in. I think I turned it off and unplugged them all, and I thought they were still plugged in. Okay. So we can do, for glass glitter, I'm going to flip it this way. I always do this over parchment paper. I don't always have a little square like this, but this works pretty good. And I feel like it's going to kind of go off the edge. But you just need a big enough space to pour your hot glue and put your sill. So we just want to make sure we have kind of enough space around there. And we can always test it and just put a sill in there. You can see it's a little tight. You can even use the sill to kind of push things over. And then you're good. So that one's ready. And we can do the same thing. There was the one that was the jellyfish one. That's the one I wanted to use some of these for. Just a few of these different colors. I think this one's a mix. Well, that was a lot. So we don't need quite that much. This one, it looks like it has little moons and just little round, but the coloring just seems fun. This would just be so cute for like a little girls' party or something. I'm going to try to mix these and then dump a little bit more out. Okay. So then we've got these kind of ready. Kind of messy. They're getting all over. It's not even the fine glitter. Okay, let's check if our hot glue is warm enough that we can force it out to keep, yeah, we're good. Okay, so let's do this Let's do this one first because I just put the seal that I'm going to do for glass glitter on the ice pack. So it's a 30 millimeters, so it's just over an inch and a quarter size. So this is the seal I'm using. I'm just going to dry it off quickly. It's been sitting there for a while, and I just don't want any of the water to get into it. So something like that, and then we're going to leave that. This one, let's see how cold. This is the one I just stuck on, and it already feels cold enough. Like it doesn't have to be like a ton of condensation on it. So we'll pour that, and then we press it, and then we dump all those on, and then press down more than sideways and up, because if you do sideways and up, the hot glue comes over the edge or it comes too high and then it gets hard to get off. So then we've got to let that one sit now. This is still, it's kind of in the way. Let's see if I can get that. Okay, then let's do a few more. Let's do some fine glitter ones. So fine glitter is kind of similar to the glass glitter. Let's see, there was another question. My glass glitter never sticks well for me. Give us all your tips. So I've noticed glass glitter, which is this stuff, sticks better to hot glue than sealing wax. So when I've done it in sealing wax a couple of times, I did gold in black wax for like around Halloween with a skull, and it stayed in for a little while, but the more I moved them, it just popped out. Like the sealing wax didn't hold it, where hot glue will really hold on to it. So let me know if you're using hot glue. If you are, then I would say making sure you like push it in is probably the key. Okay, so let's try a few. So these ones are gem ones, which are cute. Got 3 of them. So these ones I'm thinking we can, let me get my glitter ready. Actually, I think these might have a little, no, I guess I've already opened this one. I was like, I think they have a thing on the top. Okay, so I'll pour my hot glue. And I had turned my hot glue up to high. I'm going to turn it down to low now. And then I'm going to dump a bunch of glitter on. And then I'm going to press it, and we'll see how this comes out with the gems. Might be cool, might be not. We shall find out. Except I need to check my next color. Okay, so this is unopened. So I do need to open this first. And then we can like, there we go. Okay, we'll do a little bit of this glitter. And put this. And then we'll do this last one. I'm going to put the lid. Well, maybe I'll just keep these out. Just don't spill them, right? That would be a mess. After you use this fine glitter with a sill, I just wash my sills after that because it's so fine you can't get it off good. So I usually just wash them and dry them and then put them away. So that's how you can get the glitter off your sill. Okay, I hadn't used the blue yet in this set. And hot glue. So something I'll do if you're ever really close to being done, but it's like I have a few more seals to make. But sometimes I'll put out a color that's not the color just to get it to push through for what I need. Which I'm still going to have to stand up and get it out of my bin. But, whoa, that one got way too much. Okay, we'll see how that one comes out. But as long as it doesn't go all, it's enough to like get it through to one more seal that you need, but then you can just take it out and put the actual color. So I've done that sometimes when I'm in a rush, but I think I have my Oh, they're right here. My glue sticks. I'll just grab one. Okay, so we've done these. We're going to make a few more and then we'll start doing some revealing so we can see. Just slide these over. Okay, so then the last kind of effect with these that I was going to show, I'm just drying off the sill. There's all this condensation on it. So this is to do the hot glue just around the edge, not on the inside, but this is water, so it probably would have looked good being on the inside, but we'll just see how it goes. So I want to pour my hot glue first, and then I'm going to press, and then I'm going to take my glitter and I'm going to dump it around the edge. This you don't want to try to press it in because then it's so fine you'll just make fingerprints in your hot glue. So there's that one. So that one's got to cool, and I'll show you there's a little trick with taking it off to help with that. Okay, I'm just going to put these back on so we don't get glitter everywhere. Okay, let's start looking at the ones that are dry. So this one, this effect was glitter on the bottom of the sill. So this is kind of how it looks. I like to, any of these little pieces that are kind of hanging on, I'll just take them off. But the rest, like this one won't pull off because it's mostly in the glue. So I'll kind of take them off like that. And then we're going to add some gold to it. So this is from the shop summer collection. It's a cute little jellyfish. And then we're going to take the Krylon gold leafing pen and we got to shake it up a little bit and get a little bit of a flow coming out. I don't actually want a ton of flow right now. I'm debating. Actually, let's color the inside and I might add it to the outside too, but okay. Too much flow already. So I just need to get, because it's like you want there to be a nice amount of gold, but you don't want too much coming out because then it just gets everywhere, right? So we'll just go over this with the gold. This one, our silver fans, the people who love the silver, 100% this would look better with silver, I think, because it just would match the colors in the background better. But I do have a silver pen, but just not up here with me. The Krylon pen comes in silver, gold, and rose gold. This is so cute. Okay. And I'm not worried that I'm adding a little bit of gold to the edge because I'm going to color that gold anyway. But now you can kind of see it. So it's like the colors just are like little sparkles in the water. You know, they're there, but they're not like a huge focus. So that's one way to do it. I'm gonna let that one dry. And I'm gonna find the lid to my pen somewhere in my lap. Okay, let's do our glass glitter one. So this one you can pull up and you can kind of dust off the sides like this, and then you can pull it off. And you can see it sticking more to this side. See how much more this side it was like it didn't really go up the side, and this side it did. And so this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes when you press to the side more, it does this, but it can still happen, but sometimes it's just hard to get it off is the problem. So it still came off, but it's a little tricky. But there's that one. So it's a little lighthouse. And let's put the glass glitter. Wow, maybe I will clean it up. I'll just slide it over. But same thing, we can do gold for this, and then we can use, where'd my tweezers go? Use tweezers to get off the bigger chunks. So we did this technique with flowers. You can do it with this glass glitter. I think you have lots of options of what you could do this with. I've done it with sprinkles when I did chocolate sills. So anything tiny you could stick on the edge of your seal like this. So you might have ideas or things that you have that could totally work. I really like this shape of this lighthouse. So there's this one. Very cute. So that's how to do that technique. Then these ones, let's see how these turned out. I haven't actually done it with these. So here's the trick, is if you pull them up too slow, the glitter, the fine glitter will get underneath it, and then it will get on the back of your sill, which these ones I don't think it matters because we've kind of got glitter everywhere, but I'll show you on the other one. And we could dust it off. So you do kind of lose a little bit of the definition because I think this was the one I got too much glitter, or was it this one? Let's see. So I think maybe a little bit less glitter than what I did will work better. Yeah, like more like this range where it's like covering it so it's shiny, but not so much that it's blobbing up and ruining the engraving. Still fun. Yeah, this one was, this was the one that had way too much. So there's no engraving. So this is a lesson of what not to do with these, but we got a little sneak peek of what to do on this side if we cover this whole thing. Just a light amount of glitter so you still get the engraving, but you also get the color is, I think, where you want to be with that. But I think there's room for experimentation with these, which would be fun. And then you can see they have a bunch of these little bits of glitter. So that's why I say I just wash them. And so I'll just wash those and that's how I get them clean. So for this one, let me show you this. For this one to get it off, if you pull it up slowly, the glitter is going to stick to the bottom of the sill, and we don't actually want it on the bottom of the sill for this one because we only wanted it on the rim. So for this one, if we pull, you just want to go get it ready and pull up fast and dump it all off, because you can see the center part doesn't have blue, but because it's hot glue, the glitter will stick to it. So we can kind of tap it off, and you're going to get a little bit in places you don't want it, but then you can pull it off. We need to wash that one. Let me put it on a new parchment paper so we can see. So you can see it still got little bits of the glitter, kind of places we didn't want it, but it's there. And with this, I didn't plan it as well because it would have been better if I could add gold to the center, but it's just water. It's a water texture, so we could try it, but I don't know how. I feel like it should be blue. Yeah, it just looks a little weird with it being gold, but that's okay. I want you to be able to at least see the design. This one would probably be cool with underneath glitter, but I think it's still kind of fun. So that's what I had today. So we've got our little gem sills that were kind of fails. That one kind of worked. So this is our fine glitter. I do like this technique. The execution, don't love it with this specific sill, but on any of the others, if I would have grabbed a different one that you could add gold to the design, I think that would have been really fun. Then we also did these ones. You've got glass glitter, this technique with glitter on the bottom, which is fun. The gems on the side, which I love. And then I think my favorite of the day is this one. I think that one turned out really fun. And yeah, I feel like it feels a little unfinished to me. I think someone suggested a lighter blue on the lines might work. Or maybe gold around the whole circle on the outside. I don't know. But I still think this is a really fun idea to put the gems in the water. So that's what I had today. Let me really quick. Do you have any of the gem stamps with you today? I'd like to see one stamped. I think you posted this. That's these ones, right? That's what you're talking about, April. So yeah, I can we can do a regular hot glue one so you can see kind of the, let me try to clean it off. You can try to see the engraving a little bit better with, there's not too much glitter on it. So maybe let's try it if we do, I'm like, maybe we can just re-pour over this little section, how it has a little bit of glitter on the bottom, but not a lot. And we'll just see how that comes out. So let's do that, and then you can kind of see how that looks, April. Okay. I like the jellyfish. My favorite is the shell. Thank you, guys. I was going to say, if you're new or if this is your first time joining, if you want to watch more lives or come live with me, just text the word live to this phone number, and then I send out a text message anywhere like 10 to 5 minutes before I go live, and usually I go live on Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. is typically what I do. So next week will actually be the 3rd of July. So I'm planning to do some kind of patriotic still. So we're kind of still have some blues going on, but we could add in some reds. I think that would be really fun. So we'll be doing that next week. Yeah, and I'm excited about it. If you want to get any of the stamps from the summer collection, you can get them from my website. I'll add it here really quick. And then we'll look at this last sill, the gem sill, when it doesn't have funny glitter on it. Okay. So this should be, actually, I just realized I put this in when it wasn't cold. So it did kind of, it catches some on the bottom, and we can also kind of dust any off, but most of it's pretty stuck. I like it better on top. So it actually came off really well for being a hot glue sill and this not being cold, but it is very warm. But you can see it's not a super deep engraving, but it's there, but it's not like a, I have one other like jewel stamp that has a frame around it, and that one's a lot deeper. So this one, it's not quite as deep, but still kind of fun. But that could be fun, especially I think if you, do I have my scissors handy? We could try cutting it out and see if that helps kind of the look. This one will be easy to cut because it's angular. And I did press this in the dark blue wax, so I'll show you that too, because it's a little hard to see. But it's pretty flat. But I think it would look cute with the glitter on the top, so it's more apparent. But let me show you. So this is the same still. I guess I did it in the light blue. So it does look, if I were to cut this out, it would look kind of like a gem. And you could even cut it out and then put it in with a gold background, and then it could look like more like jewelry. But yeah, that's the gem sill. So you can get these ones, all the ones we used, all very coastal nautical themes. They're in the shop right now. I'll have a website restock hopefully in about a week and a half or so. There's a bunch of stamps that aren't in stock that are coming back. So, and then Amy said links to your Amazon account. Yeah, let me send you, I have the link here to, let's see, my Amazon shop. And unfortunately, I need to get it a little bit more organized. So I'm sorry. But I do have almost like the glitter, the glass glitter, the powders, all the stuff I'm using. It's almost all in there, the stuff that I get from Amazon. So you can definitely check that out to get supplies. And I'll plan on seeing you guys next Thursday for some patriotic sills. I think it'll be really fun. So thank you guys so much for joining. And if you have any questions or you have lives or techniques that you want to see in future lives, send me a DM with your idea and I would love to include it. So I'll see you guys next week.